And 3. Welcome, one and all, to the Best Damn Tech Show, period. This is November the 6th, 2006. And a very, very big welcome to, of course, cohort in crime, Dr. Drewby. Thanks for coming, mate. Actually,
I'm never doing that
again. We've got no plant with us at the moment. He will be here. He promises. He's in a hurry. He's
No, I told him not to come.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told him his presence wasn't necessary.
Wow.
Wasn't needed.
We'll keep an eye out for him anyway.
We have plenty of cool people here.
Listen, Drew, I was driving through the streets of Philly today.
Really?
Saw a couple of people just walking along aimlessly. Thought, I'll give these people a ride. Guess who it was?
Who?
Folks
Schmidt.
from Pandora.
Pandora.com.
Tim Westergren, also known as Westy.
Wait, Pandora.com, the website where you can search on music, and then they have this cool little algorithm thingy that shows me who else I can listen to?
Yes, Pandora.com, the
That's
cool
you?
little thing with the...
Tim Westergren, founder.
It's an honor to be here.
It's an honor to have you here. We've been using.
I'm glad we ran into each other at this train station.
It was a coincidence, really. Really it was.
Paul just happened to be at the train station.
And we were already wearing the Pandora hats, and they were like, Pandora, we run the thing, and we're like, really? And no.
I'm often found loitering at train stations, so good stuff that you were there as well.
They're here in Philadelphia. They're doing a town hall style meeting about music and the internet at the University Penn Bookstore. By the time you watch this, it'll already have happened, but we will have pictures and the like. We'll post them on bestdamntech.com.
Yeah, and we're very excited to have them here today. Thank you again. We're going to put you in the hot seat straight away.
Excellent.
I hope you're ready.
I am.
Been a little more original with that title of the segment. I think it's been used. Hot seat.
Really?
Work on it.
See, every suggestion that I come up with is taken. It's, I just think I'm as creative as all these other folks. But
all right.
Anyway, there's an increasing displeasure with broadcast radio. Did you know that? Yeah. Continued headaches over individual users, over copyright licensing issues, illegal downloading. There's some innovative solutions that have been coming along, and one of those is, of course, Pandora.com. So,
get right into it.
For this interview, Tim Westergren, thank you very much for joining us. Let us set up a bit of a timeline for our listeners and viewers, if we can, for Pandora. Started off back in the early days, 2000, I believe, was the Music Genome Project.
Yeah, we started about 2 weeks before the shit hit the fan in .com Silicon Valley.
Oh, that's handy.
Yes, we've been through an interesting adventure.
What was the inspiration there in the early days?
Well, I'm a musician, and I'd spent the previous about 10, 11 years playing in rock bands and traveling around the U.S. and being another needle in a haystack along with everybody else.
Sure.
And I got really interested in trying to figure out how to solve the problem for independent musicians, how to find your audience. And
right.
I saw a lot of incredibly talented musicians out on the road, sort of struggling to survive. And I knew that there were, if those musicians had some mechanism to find their audience, maybe they could make a career out of it. So I've long held this theory that there could be a musician's middle class, if there was some way to give them access to their audience. So that experience of sort of, spending years trying to be heard was really the primary inspiration for starting the company.
Were you a geek way back then?
I was definitely a music junkie.
Okay.
I wouldn't call myself a geek. I know very little about computers and technology, but
that's
definitely
fine,
deep into music.
Apparently.
As I'm learning.
Yeah. Whoa.
So from there was born Pandora straight away?
Well, so we first started with this Music Genome Project.
Sure.
And the idea in the beginning was it would be something more akin to a recommendation technology. So we created this large taxonomy and started analyzing songs and turned it into a piece of software that we actually licensed to other companies. So like AOL and Best Buy and Borders and a bunch of retailers used it initially as an ingredient on their sites to help their customers, find or purchase or listen to additional music, help them browse their own catalogs.
Yeah.
And we chased that business model for about 4 years. and through the whole .com collapse. And it wasn't until about 2004 that we sort of set our sights on radio. And what had happened in those intervening years is that broadband penetration had grown dramatically in the U.S., and so it opened up the streaming audio opportunity, and it was a perfect use of the music genome. So the idea of Pandora was hatched, and then we launched it about a year later, which was a year ago.
When you say we, who's we?
I had two friends I founded the company with, a college classmate and a friend of his who was our technology, our chief technology officer. So he did all the computer mathematics, software programming part, and I handled the music.
Okay.
So it was a collection.
It was your idea?
Uh-huh.
So you had the idea, you went to him and said, this is what I want. Make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I was just a musician. I was a film composer. I really had no idea that I could actually start a company. That seemed, a very distant idea.
Sure.
And John Kraft, a friend of mine who I shared the idea with, had already started it and sold a company. And so he had a very different perspective. I was like, what the heck?
Right.
Why not? And so I went from one day it being an idea to, a month later having, working on a business plan. So
so
sudden.
We move along to, mid 2005, when I think was the official launch.
Yeah,
of
November
Pandora.
2005.
November.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of switched up. You said, we've been the Snap-on, we've been behind the scenes, but, I bet you guys were pretty pumped about it and you wanted to get it to the
Yeah, I mean,
mainstream.
we barely survived. I mean, we were bankrupt I didn't take salary for a couple years, and we all went through this sort of hell that a bunch of us startups went through.
Right.
Sure.
And we survived because we weren't paying anybody, which is it's inexpensive as it turns out to run a company when you don't pay salaries. And so
There's some cost savings there.
yeah, it's an interesting business model.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people think about it.
Right.
And so we had licensed it, but large companies don't tend to pay small technology companies very well,
Right.
because there's just not a lot of leverage. And we can always believe that it was an interesting idea, that there was a need for it.
Yeah.
But working through other companies was obviously frustrating. And in 2004, we actually raised a significant amount of investment.
Okay.
And so we had the luxury of saying, you know what, we're going to kind of go out and do this ourselves,
Right.
and launch a service directly to consumers.
Right. And I'm sure you hear all along, there's people, there's already recommendation services and things like that. So it must be, since you started the company, you must have been going to the bat and going, this is different and this is why. And, you have a lot of investors and a lot of people, other companies looking to team up, they don't really take the time to listen to actually, it's like, it's another recommendation service, which it clearly isn't. So I bet is it kind of your job to be out there and say, this is what we do, this is why it's different?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And there were probably 20 companies that had some kind of recommendation engine. And most of them used the, collaborative filtering, the Amazon style, data mining, comparing people.
Yeah. And
it's not too difficult to describe these different services in a way that makes them all sound the same.
Right.
And it took years for us to differentiate ourselves. And I think actually we didn't become truly differentiated until we launched a radio.
Right.
Because the demands of what we're trying to do, is basically create a service where with just one input, a song, you can immediately create a station that's on target for you.
Exactly.
And that's a hard thing to do. And I think to do that, you need to really have a deep musicological understanding of the song someone's requesting and what comes after it.
Yeah, I mean,
so
that's awesome. I mean, one of the channels I set up immediately, I mean, I've used Launch, Yahoo and everything, and you're really at the mercy only of the users that are recommending. So, if I'm looking for, 311 and, it's recommend something, I've gotten like Christina Aguilera. I'm like, just because a bunch of people like that also, that really doesn't do anything for me. When I went to Pandora, I set up a channel for the Police because I really, really like the Police.
Right.
And they have a very unique reggae-ish style, rock, ska. It's a bunch of everything. And the bands that were coming through, I'd never heard of before. And they were awesome.
Right.
You have the ability to thumbs up, thumbs down.
That's the key.
Understand why it was chosen. And it's really a neat service. So everyone I've showed it to, they've gotten it immediately and gotten hooked.
Yeah, I think that's essentially all it takes, really, is people to know what this thing is, to explore it a little bit, and then next thing you know, you're listening to bands that you'd never really heard of before, which is fabulous, and you're loving them, ending up buying their stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people are buying things on Pandora. So about 40% of people who use it are buying more music since they started, which is an astronomical number if you have any experience with e-commerce for music.
Music industries, they're afraid they're going, oh, we're losing all this money, you know, because they don't care about the indie guys. They don't care about, you know, if you're not, you know, on MTV, they really don't care about you. I mean, Plant can tell you that. Plant's done the band thing for a long time. No, he just appeared out of nowhere.
Plant just lobbed in.
It's like a chia pet.
So the cash would sink away in the thing.
But
listen, we got a couple of questions. The name Pandora was bandied around. Where did that come from? Does it have anything to do with the box?
Well, it was the last available URL, so we took it.
Really? Is that how it was?
No.
Okay.
There's a kind of a combination of things. You know, we actually like the idea of this box that you open up and you have no idea what's going to come out.
Right.
Granted, it was all evil historically, and we hope that's not an accurate analogy. But Pandora was a gifted musician, and you know, she was curious. And at the bottom of Pandora's box was hope, which a lot of people don't know.
Oh.
So that's a little twist to it.
That is a nice little twist.
And if you had waited a couple years later to buy the domain, you would have been Pandora without the O. It would have been Pandra.
Right, as Web 2.0 companies tend to do.
How about some of the other services? You know, Pandora Browse, Pandora Boy, Pandora FM, some of the collaborative mashups. I mean...
Opera has a Pandora widget.
Right.
Well, you know, I think if someone takes the time to create a knockoff or some kind of mashup, it's the biggest compliment someone can give you. And from our standpoint, obviously, it's flattering to have that happen, and we're supportive of that. The only sort of caveat to that is that we have to pay for every song that we stream.
Right.
You know, we pay a license fee and a streaming cost, and in order to make the business work, we have to be able to make money, i.e., advertise on the service when you're doing it.
Right.
And to the extent that alternative versions of Pandora are popping up where people can listen to it without our ability to put ads on it, we're subsidizing a free service. Okay. And, you know, we're getting to do that up to a point, but at some point we've got to say, well, you know,
right.
that could become too much of a liability. And I think the second danger is if there are a bunch of services around that people start using and we make a change to our basic software and all of a sudden 50 different applications break, people look at us, you know, they don't look at the owners of those software.
Right.
So it's, you know, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is a lot like the Wild West out there in 2.0 land. The best thing is to, if somebody has a really good idea, I mean, can they email you guys?
Oh, of course. And you know, I really was excited the first time someone sent me a URL saying, "Have you seen this?"
Yeah. Right.
And it was some mashup, and that was cool to see it, you know.
Do you use any of them?
No, I don't.
Right.
I don't. I mean, I've checked them out, but I don't use them.
Right.
I imagine you used Pandora.com.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you have an idea, if you have a really good idea, I'm sure they're open to listen to it. Send it over. You go to Pandora.com, find an email address, drop them a note, and so yeah. I mean, there's a lot that goes into what Pandora does. A lot of hard work. So, you know.
One thing Plant is very excited about, he's excited about a lot of stuff.
I am.
But he's most excited about, particularly with Pandora, is the technology behind it. It's robust. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you get a lot of other services, buffering, you're dropping out, etc. Haven't really found that with Pandora. What gives?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about the technology, so I'll fake it as long as I can.
Yeah, just throw out some fancy words.
Yeah,
got some acronyms up your sleeve.
It's horizontally and vertically integrated.
Of
course it is.
Of course.
It's getting written down. Someday I too will be horizontally and vertically integrated.
Right now you're horizontally challenged.
Yes.
Or vertically.
It's a rich software stack. Also, I've heard.
Hello. That's a good one.
Well, you know, so the most I can say about the technology really is that we have a fabulous team of engineers, and the whole purpose of it, the way it's architected, I do know this, it was architected so that as we grew, we could accommodate more usage just by adding hardware to the system. So it's scalable. It's not
fantastic.
It's not going to get stuck in a rut because the actual application can't support more than X number of requests in a
with Web 2.0. That's the fear. It's like, okay, I'm putting all my data in these services. I'm using these services every day. Are they going to be there next week?
Yeah.
You know, so
well, we launched this in November. Mm. And I think a day or two after we launched it, 250,000 people came to the site in one day because we were on Slashdot. Yeah, right. We were Slashdotted. I didn't even know what that was. Someone told that to me. Do. When someone said we were Slashdotted,
It sounds good.
Did you
It sounds like
that's good. What's that?
Did you guys take the hit?
We did, although I admit we throttled a little bit. So we actually we throttled usage so that we wouldn't go down. But we went through this process of FedExing hardware into the colo and a big fire drill. But within a month, we were at the usage level we thought it would take 2 years to get to. So
amazing.
But
the power of the internet
and good engineers.
Does that mean we're coming up to the 1 year anniversary?
In 2 weeks.
Happy early anniversary.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah. You'll drink to anything.
Anniversary.
Oh, look, the guy's in here 5 minutes and he wants a beer. Freaking star. Would you like anything in your trailer, Mr. Plant?
There was not a bowl of red M&Ms when I got here.
Kick into the news. What time do we got, people?
Yeah, we're getting close. I just wanted to ask.
I can only read digital. What's that?
I wanted to quickly ask about. What is that?
5:15.
Copyright.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you're faced with the queries, the questions about copyright issues. And I know you work with Amazon and iTunes. What kind of battles have you faced with regard to that?
Well, we operate under the umbrella of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which is actually a federal statute in the U.S., the DMCA is what it's mostly called, that is actually a solution to the licensing problem for webcasters. You can sign one piece of paper, and it gives you permission to play any track from any artist without any direct relationship with the rights holder. So Pandora doesn't have a single record contract. We have one federally sort of mandated general license, and then we pay royalties every month to ASCAP and BMI and CSAC and a new company called Sound Exchange that collects webcast royalties. So we're fully legal, and we write big ass checks every month to
give me that camera.
Rights
big
organizations.
Ass checks. These guys are doing it the right way. That's how you do it. Are they literally big ass checks like the ones you get at from Ed McMahon? And how come Ed McMahon never delivers those himself?
You can't hold
He
them up,
always
they're
has
too heavy.
people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for being here. Tim's gonna stay with us. Let's come on.
Best damn news. Best damn news.
Usually Dan is
lots of
the
stuff.
news, but we're in a rush.
There's lots of stuff to get through today, so let's just rip on through it. Congratulations to everyone here.
Yeah.
100 million websites.
Huh?
Yeah. Apparently we hit the 100 million website mark, and I'm sure those people with websites here are well part of that. Huh?
That's me.
Brody Show, AdamPlant.com, Flemo.
Who was the 1 million?
100 million.
100 million.
That too.
Don't know. They don't know. They do know that.
Pandora.com.
They do know the first one though.
Who was that?
It was the W3C.
You got a big head.
.org.
Sorry.
I've never heard that before.
We'll flash
actually.
that up now. It was very fancy. You know
That's
that.
fancy.
Apparently, out of that 100 million, only 1% of them are good.
And we are not in that 1%.
No, I guess we
No.
don't.
Come on,
Pandora.com is.
It's more than that.
You leave me hanging. There's like 50 people here. Yeah.
We got sound bites for that stuff.
So we're very excited about 101,435,253 to be exact.
Adam Plant has designed 43 million of those. Next.
Google acquires JotSpot.
Yeah.
Anyone use JotSpot? It's a wiki.
JotSpot.
Wow.
It is a wiki. Yeah. And it's fairly useful as well.
Do you use wikis, Tim?
No.
Tim doesn't use wikis.
You know, I don't really use them at all either. I tried. I gave it a go. Maybe I use Wikipedia, but
They're a pain in the butt.
I take that back. I have been to a wiki site to look up some things. I
Right.
take that back. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I lied.
So do we. He fits right in.
But you don't use it to collaborate with staff and project management and all that sort of stuff.
No, you need a pretty big community for a
we don't
wiki
use
to be any kind of really useful, you know?
Right.
Really? Alright. Google, that's not all
How
that.
much? What? How much was it? How much they get?
I don't know.
$5. That's it's $5.
I think it was more than
$5.
I have that
$5.
written here.
Gmail for mobiles is also active now.
Right.
Previously, it was you'd have to go through your browser to access your Gmail. Now it's just
There's an actual app
enabled.
for.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yep. Gmail.com/app. APP. So it's pretty good. In fact, TechCrunch, we were talking about TechCrunch earlier on, they dubbed it the best email experience outside of a BlackBerry.
I'm gonna assume that's mobile email experience, right?
No, email.
Oh yeah?
Well, I assume probably. Right.
That's
Crackberries.
Yeah.
I'll take that. So
He's dropped his in the toilet before, and
it broke. So I got a new one.
Yeah, most don't stand up in the toilet. You know?
Yeah.
No, it was an experiment gone awry.
well, if you've got a BlackBerry that stands up, I got something else for you.
Everyone knows I
crazy.
use my BlackBerry in the toilet, so you know, it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere.
That's why I didn't answer emails for a day.
You know, Gmail's good. I like
love
Gmail.
Gmail.
There's no doubt. I mean, we all use Gmail. Do you use Gmail at all?
Yes, I do a little bit.
A little bit. And you send to Gmail accounts probably. But the search function, there's something going on with it. I don't know.
Yeah, we need a little bit of
Gmail?
face plan.
Gmail, can give it a face plan. Every time I talk to you, you're
Let 'em
talking
have
about
it.
Gmail
Let 'em
search. I
have it.
can't find anything.
Let them have it.
Well, that is an unsubstantiated fantasy.
Really?
Let them
No,
have it.
but you know what? I'm a little peeved with the Gmail search.
Peeved.
Yeah, peeved.
All right.
I bought that one
It's
for
a
a nickel.
face plan, sir.
Yeah, right?
You know something's in there. You know someone emailed you.
Hey.
Do you do a search for
Hey,
What?
this isn't a face, Aussie.
I'm prepping up
Yeah,
plans.
this is an open forum face plan.
Hey,
I need a
dude.
referee.
Face plan. Get it on his
What
mind.
do you got, mate?
Well, I'm peeved Schmidt, about the Gmail search. It sucks. Compared to like their web search, which is phenomenal. Gmail search sucks balls. I could not stand. I know that my daughter's social security number was emailed to me. I'm going through. I got to fill out these
Security
papers like fast, and I'm looking for this thing. I'm typing in social security S/N SN. Her name. None of it comes up. As soon as I finally find it, all that stuff is right in there.
Right.
It's like it's an email of 3 lines. It couldn't search 3 lines. I mean, I must have covered at least 60% of the content. Unbelievable.
You know how I got around that?
Yeah, get out of the Googleplex swimming pool and start coding a better search.
Whoa!
Hey.
Face plan. That was-
Google desktop search.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, it
That
works.
thing slows down my machine.
It does, that's true.
It's a-
I
That's
have the
true.
desktop search, but I mean the Gmail's on their end. It's not on my desktop.
It's true.
Thank you.
It's not integrated though?
Let's
Mine's
ask
integrated
Google.
with the desktop
We'll get on the
search.
horn with Google and
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
out.
Call
Yeah.
Schmitty.
Alright.
The other Schmidt.
Send Schmidt on location.
Somebody got bought.
Yeah, I heard Reddit. You know Reddit?
No, I've heard of Reddit now. Reddit.
Well, that's the fancy way of saying Reddit.
Yeah.
actually.
Either way, they got about $65 million I hear.
That's it?
It's big dollar.
From Condé Nast? Condé Nast,
That sounded dirty.
travel.
They own Wired.
Yeah.
So basically, Wired bought Reddit, which is a Dig competitor, been around for a while. They get a whole bunch of traffic. It's a real stripped down version of Dig, where Dig's like the Ajax and they're nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of more text based and not as flashy, but they got a whole
People
bunch
still
of.
like Reddit. They
Yeah.
like it a lot. I mean,
There's
it's
Reddit buttons everywhere. If you go on people's blogs and sites, it's like Reddit, you know. So
Reddit.com, REDDIT.
You
Just
gotta
in case
spell
you
all the
got
Web
wondering.
2.0s.
what are you on a payroll?
No, just spelling out for people because a lot of
No.
our listeners can't.
They're a great
read
site.
or
They're an
spell,
alternative
so.
and addition to Dig. A lot of people are surprised that they got bought before Dig did.
Interesting technologies coming up, particularly to do with TVs.
Yeah.
LG just came out with a new plasma TV that actually has built-in DVR.
Really?
Very nice, very slick. Skip through your ads, pause, rewind, the whole gamut.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a plasma TV, Tim?
Yes, I do.
Tim has a plasma TV.
Do you have DVR?
No.
Oh.
I have a very small plasma TV that's quite old.
Oh. Well, when you buy this one, can I have yours?
You can send that to the House of Geek Bill, care of Adam Bland.
Nice. So we're looking
He
at.
asks the hard-hitting questions in the text show. Can I have your TV?
Yeah, hard copy, got nothing on me.
You have $5?
That was the next question. You gotta start high with the plasma. You work your way down.
Incorporating a built-in 250 gigabytes hard disk.
40 hours
40
of high
hours
def.
of high def, or 100 hours of standard def.
I don't
for future
have time
playback.
for television.
Well, this is television on your schedule. Your schedule.
I don't
I
have
knew
it.
you were going to mention
I don't
that.
have a
Bugger
schedule.
you. Bugger you all.
So do you guys go to shul?
Yeah.
In
You
fact,
should
we
After
do.
summer?
We
Do you
do
do
indeed.
something else that starts with SCH that would be funny also and make people laugh?
Like
Next
Schmidt?
story.
Better not do me. That's
No one's doing shit, right? No one.
I just got
Especially not Tim. Simple as that. Or Westy. Little service, I don't know if you've heard of this, Napster.
Not familiar.
No, really?
Never
A file sharing music kind of thingamajig.
that. I filled up many a hard drive.
Well, back in the day when everything was free, you know, people loved it. Of course. Then they started charging, went downhill.
I actually kept using it.
They're still around though. That's a good thing, and they're trying really hard. They have launched this initiative that's going to blow your socks off. People.
What is it?
Blow it off.
What is it?
One free MP3 download per day.
Woo!
wow.
Yeah.
It takes like 2 weeks to get an album.
One free MP3 a day. Woo!
Unless it's a punk album, then it takes a month.
Yeah. It takes you like a month and a half to get one album of 2-minute long
Wait till
songs.
the Kiss double
About
album
girls.
comes out. I'm gonna be sitting by the computer forever.
Ah.
iTunes has done that before.
iTunes does it still.
So I guess they're gonna promote. I mean, what kind of artists are we talking about? Are we talking a commercial artist, indie artist?
Iron Maiden, I heard, was bandied around. People love Iron Maiden.
I love Iron Maiden.
Get that man on camera.
You don't know Iron Maiden?
Yeah.
You know Iron Maiden?
I certainly do.
What's wrong with the kiddies of this day and age?
That's
They
the
don't
best
know
they got.
Iron Maiden.
Is that the best they got?
Well, right now. who knows
Seriously.
what
Iron
to
Maiden's
say.
not half bad, you know? I take it for free.
All right, people, we're very excited. We're always very excited, but
Obviously.
particularly very excited about this one.
Where
It's a
in
whole.
the world is Microsoft Vista?
Where is Vista? We've
Do you
been
know where
wondering
Vista
that
is,
for a
Tim?
long
I
time.
don't.
He's an Apple guy. That's why I'm sitting all the way over here.
Listen, this is very exciting. It's an official launch date set, people. Official launch date set. It is November 30. Wait for it. 2006.
What?
That's this year.
Hold on.
Holy
That
shit.
is this year. No,
Wow.
it's true.
Excuse me.
It's true. Rumor has it that it will be on the 30th.
I will
of
dress like a
November,
nun for a week
2006.
if it comes out on November 30th.
None for a week.
No.
We will keep you to that.
Heard it.
We will keep you to
I
that.
will be a nun for the week.
Excellent. We look forward to it.
Oh, God.
Will it be that whole release it first, patch it later idea that you guys from my last?
It might be, but even still,
Isn't
Drew will be
everything
dressing as
Microsoft
a
does
nun.
release it, patch it later?
Yeah.
Drew will still be dressing as a nun.
We're still
if that's
They
the
got more
case.
patches in the inner tube in my garage.
They're still patching 98.
I don't even have a garage.
So the official launch will be occurring in New York, and Balls will be there.
Balls.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Steve Ballmer. He's the CEO of Microsoft. Everyone knows that.
Thank God your
right,
last
dude.
name isn't Balmer or anything with ball in front of it.
Boston.
Westy, you going to be there?
When is it?
November 30,
No,
No,
New
it
York
won't.
City.
It's not going to be November
I
30th.
won't.
Microsoft
plan.
Balls puts on a good show.
Anyway, he'll be at the launch event held at the NASDAQ stock market in Midtown, New York,
Right.
and the Marriott Marquis in Times Square.
Oh, the NASDAQ, so we can watch Vista crash.
right. Right, that's right.
November 30th. Yeah, don't mark your calendar.
Or as Smitty says, the Marriott Marquis.
Marquis.
Very good.
Right by the Home Depot.
Depot.
He's sitting there
We
drinking some
love-
Artois.
We love everything today. What's with you in the we love?
I'm in a loving
We
mood.
go back into the segue machines. Put some segues in. All right, we got some goofy news. Tim, can you hit us with a good segue for some goofy news? Go ahead. Hit that camera right there.
A good segue for Goofy News?
Yeah, give us a nice segue.
Here comes the Goofy News, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes!
Yes! Yes!
Let's hear it.
That's how you want to take notes?
That's excellent. Come on, where's my pen?
You got
And
replaced.
now for the goofy news.
So we do a show every Thursday, and we're getting rid of the Australian guy. He would be into
What do you-
it. I mean, I don't know. It's just up in the air. But
What are you doing? I'll be touring around promoting Pandora.
There you go. And nobody will be able to understand a damn word you're saying.
Oh, Pandy! I love my
he just
Pandy!
got fired right away.
Go
Alright,
to
give us the
pandy.com.
Goofy news. Goofy news.
Alright.
What's this non-digital clock?
This is a little favourite
Alright.
here. This one, the recent United Nations summit on the internet. Okay, this was a summit on the internet.
I wasn't
United
invited.
Nations.
Was not invited.
They had no internet access. That was in Athens. Apparently they tried, but it didn't work, so they
Athens,
shut it
Greece?
off. Yes. Athens, Greece, not Athens,
Oh.
Georgia.
Not a fan of Athens.
Really?
That's great.
You remember Sean Hogan? Anyone remember Sean,
Yeah,
Sean Hogan?
Hulk's brother.
It's not Hogan's son or brother, no. This
No.
was the guy that was busted by the MPAA? Yes, the MPAA for illegally downloading Meet the Fockers, right?
I'm sorry, meet the what?
Fockers.
The what?
Fockers.
Okay. Loop that, Rand.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, meet the what?
Fockers.
The what?
Fockers.
Okay. Thank you.
Meet the Fockers.
He got busted for. Yo, can you imagine being in jail and they're like, "What are you in for?" "Yeah, I killed like my entire family." "What are you in for?" "Yeah, I downloaded Meet the Fockers."
What of it?
You didn't even download the original Meet the Parents. You got the sequel.
Anyway, he says he didn't do it. The MPAA said,
The devil made him do it.
pay us $2,500 and we'll forget about it.
That's
no
like,
worries.
That's like
He's
my Blockbuster late fee.
Really?
Yeah.
He said, "No, screw you. I'm
He said, "Screw you."
I'm digging in. I'm saying, you know, I didn't do it. I didn't download it. I actually own the DVD. Why would I go and download it online?" So,
In case he wanted to watch it again.
so anyway, what we've got now is that he dug in, expecting the legal fees to be some $100,000. So this was a big step.
Clearly, if he can pay legal
Big step
fees,
for an
he can
individual.
buy a DVD.
Right. It was the principle, essentially.
Principle. Good for him.
As it turns out, there was a technicality that dismissed this case.
What was that?
The technicality was that the company that was suing him didn't actually own the copyright rights to Meet the
Whoops!
Pockets.
Oh, that's
Hey,
great.
copyright people, you want to sue somebody for copyrights, make sure you own the copyright.
Right. To it.
Wow.
So, good on you for that, Sean. Unfortunately, he didn't get to kind of, really stick it to them. It was a technicality that he...
Ah,
He did make them look like a bunch of douchebags, though.
Yeah, well, it really seems to have slipped under the radar for the most part, this news story. Except here on Best Town Tech, where we dig up the big news stories.
Exhuming the news, no one felt fit for it.
We find the shit that you don't care about. We talk about it.
So,
It's pretty exciting.
of course, we're always excited about...
Now we're excited. We love it. Now we're excited.
about Tech Biffo stories.
Tech
You know what
Biffo.
Tech Biffo is?
I don't.
Do you know what Biffo is?
Anyone?
Talk to him.
Biffo?
Fight.
Yeah, it's a fight. Biffo is Biff.
Australian.
Okay.
You see a cartoon where it says Biff, when someone...
It's
That's
another
Biffo.
made-up Australian word.
Do you have any Biffo, Tim? Do you have another CEO or founder out there who's just trying to egg you into an argument?
Do I have someone who's a nemesis of mine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
have a
nice nemesis.
I'm not a fighter.
You're nemesis-less.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
I have no nemesis list.
Do you want a
It's
nemesis?
kind of a void. Doesn't that feel like a void you need to fill?
An empty hole.
There's something missing there.
No.
No one needs a nemesis. I got Schmidt. Even if we're not even mad at each other, we just give each other menacing points from across the office,
We can hook you up with a nemesis anyway. if
Just
you
let
want.
us know.
I'll let you know
Let
if
us
I
know.
find the need.
Anyone else who needs a nemesis, email us at info@bestdamntech.com and we'll find one for you.
We're a little bit
It's
like...
like the opposite of eHarmony.
yeah, I was going to say evilmatch.com.
Nemesis.
E-nemesis. Hold on. Write that down. E-nemesis.com. Holy crap.
I can't spell menaces.
Does anybody have $8 for the domain?
How am I gonna come up with that kind of cash?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago we spoke of Universal Tube and Rollform Equipment Corporation? They actually own the domain name YouTube. So So there's a U, there's a U and a tube.
A U.
They suddenly got this huge influx of traffic when Google purchased YouTube.
Right. Not a real smart.
Crashed their servers. They were out. The hosting fees went through the roof. So. They're now suing YouTube for this.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
This is real.
Do they have some contact information on their website? I'd like to personally give them the Cock-Ass Award.
Not many people have the Cock-Ass Award.
Here it is. The lawsuit filed this week in US District Court asks that YouTube stop using the YouTube.com, that's YO YouTube, or pay Universal Tube's cost for
First of
creating
all, they
a new
need
domain.
Universal Tube. So can
So
Universal
pay them like
$10.
Gee.
Yes, costs were not disclosed, but yeah.
Speaking of
I mean, come
YouTube,
on.
the Colbert Report, I'm sure you are all familiar with, stated that all of their content has been pulled due to their parent company Viacom. So you can no longer catch your good old pal Steve Colbert.
Guess
on
what?
YouTube.
I have news for you. Apparently, you haven't been checking the interwebs because they have signed a deal with YouTube, and YouTube's paying them money. And this is really interesting. I was what?
What'd you hear?
Well, you've been refuted.
You've been
Yeah,
refuted.
what
You know
was
what
this?
that means.
Right.
Hey,
out.
Steve
Instant
Colbert told
headbutt
me this
match.
last night.
Colbert
He did too.
Colbert Report and all Viacom/Comedy Central content staying on YouTube. They got paid. I was on blogmaverick.com, Mark Cuban's website. Tim, are you
I
familiar?
read that article. Yeah.
You read that? Wasn't that really interesting?
Fascinating. Yeah.
How part of the deal is they're giving $50 million Universal, $50 million here, so they get the call off the dogs, the lawyers.
Yeah.
So Google was really smart before they made the deal.
Somebody better put up illegal content of me so I can go for $50 million.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think you want that content being shown.
No, he does, actually.
50 million is not enough.
Unfortunately, he does.
Give or take.
Which is a shame. And finally, on our tech biffo, a little rocket boom, Zefrank.
Zay.
Is it?
Zay Frank.
That's an Australian mispronunciation,
Zefrank.
just like the rest.
Zay Frank's the
Zefrank
show.
does the show. Right.
Zay Frank basically called out Rocket Boom and Andrew Barron and said, your numbers are fake, they're bullshit, and really called him out on it. There's a lot of people who think it might have been produced kind of like old school wrestling, where
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
What
you
you
don't
gonna
watch
do?
this show, I'm gonna come through the TV and kick your ass and all that stuff.
was that your wrestler voice?
Sounded a little bit like it.
that's not my wrestling.
Okay. So basically, Andrew Barron saying, yeah, we have a bunch of content and it's all over the place, and we have the stats. TechCrunch jumped in and looked at the stats and said basically they're close to what they're saying. So some video biffo. Do you watch video on the net?
Hardly ever, actually.
Hardly ever.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Nobody else does either.
Kind of weird being on here, man.
And that's our news. And we gotta run, man. We gotta go to University of Pennsylvania.
Before we do, can you give us a little premise for what you're doing there at the UPenn bookstore? I've heard it's a town hall meeting where they come with like the fiery torches and stuff like that. Is it a bit like that?
It's a big group discussion and hopefully a love-in and maybe some controversy about music and online music. So
Excellent. Loving
Ooh.
and controversy. I love it.
So no pitchforks.
No pitchforks.
no pitchforks, no burning torches.
Okay.
I mean, I'll still go. But
Pitchforks optional. Anyway.
Tim Westergren.
Thank you for joining
very
us.
much. Founder of Pandora.com.
Amongst
Flo,
other stuff.
Australian host. Plant, the late guy. Schmidt. He's not drinking. Alyssa. Joy. Iggs from the Roadie Show. RoadieShow.com.
Little cameo.
Back there is Moby Ryan. We got Rand. We're stacked.
We are stacked.
We got a stack.
We've got a
Okay, we got a book. For everyone else, we will catch you later. Until then,
Thanks to Flock.com. I don't have any Flock gear on, but thank you, Flock, for bringing us the show. Pandora, thank you for coming by. And go to Pandora.com, listen to some new music.
go to Pandora.com on your Flock browser.
God, yeah. You sell out.
bye, folks.
Consider me a screwdriver.
Yeah, let's talk about that plasma. All right.
Have a geek week.